Yes, show me.
Good evening. Before I begin, I'd just like to make one announcement. If we could please keep the middle aisle free of guests and photographers because we are videotaping this, okay? You may be seated. My name is Edie Willette, and I'm the Acting Director of Nursing and Allied Health here at Three Rivers Community College. It is my pleasure to welcome the family and friends of the graduates, distinguished guests, President Jones, Dean Branchini, faculty and staff, and most importantly, the nursing graduates of spring 2014. On behalf of the nursing faculty and the college community, congratulations, graduates. This is a wonderful celebration of your hard work and recognition of an honored accomplishment. Please know how very proud we are of each and every one of you. On a personal note, serving as your class advisor, I had the privilege of traveling with you on this 2-year journey towards graduation, making this evening very special to me. Thank you for that. To begin this evening's celebration, I would like to introduce Diane Marion, who will offer the invocation.
If I had to limit my advice on healthier living to just one tip, it would be simply to learn how to breathe correctly. Shallow breathing is a reaction to the unyielding stress of modern life, and it is itself a cause of further stress, which leads to more shallow breathing. There is what is called the 3 deep breaths technique. It initiates the relaxation response. I would invite the graduating class and anyone in the audience who would like to join me. I'd like everybody to take a deep belly breath, expanding your abdomen as you take the breath. Focus on centering, on being present in the here and now. When you're ready, take your second deep belly breath. This time, focus on your purpose, immediate or future purpose. And as you're ready to take your third deep belly breath, dedicate it to something for which you are grateful. This is a powerful technique, using breath and focus on something positive. This can change the way you feel and bring calm and joy into your life. Thank you all for being here today. We are gathered in the presence of this company, not only to witness the beginning of what will be, but also what already is. We are here to bear witness to your commitment to this selfless healing profession that you have chosen. And I would like to just comment on what it's like being a nurse. Being a nurse isn't about grades. It's about being who you are. No book can teach you how to cry with a patient. No class can teach you how to tell a family that their parents have died or are dying. No professor can teach you how to find dignity in giving someone a bed bath. A nurse is not about the pills or charting. It's about being able to love people when they are at their weakest moment. It is believed that the human soul shares characteristics with all things divine. It is in this tradition that this blessing is offered. I'm calling in the directions. In the East, it is about new beginnings, and you are all indeed embarking on new beginnings. The South is about childlike innocence and trust, reminding you always to keep your curiosity and wonder in life. The West reminds you to take the time to nurture yourself, to go within, listening to the silence, and not losing yourself in the system or in life. The North reminds you to consult with the elders and to clearly think things out. Each day, take a moment to give thanks to your Creator and to this big, beautiful earth that we stand upon. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Grace Sawyer Jones, President of Three Rivers Community College, followed by Dr. Ann Branchini, our Academic Dean, so they may offer greetings to the graduates and guests.
Good evening. They tell me allergies are bad this year, and since I've never had them before, I guess they're bad this year. Congratulations. They are just beautiful and handsome. You know, the hat has come back. So maybe even we as pedestrians may go back wearing more hats. They are beautiful. But it's to the families and friends and children and aunts and uncles and all of you who've come today, this evening, to see this part of your graduates, not your graduates yet though, this pinning ceremony for them. It is such an honor to see you come here for them. But I also know they have been with you throughout a pretty long and arduous journey from anything I have heard. And look at you tonight. This is a wonderful affirmation, confirmation of a mission that has been undertaken by all of you along with our pinning group, our nursing group, to bring us to this very noble profession where you will enter and embark on laying on of hands for the rest of your life, probably. The word of laying on of hands came from an old friend of mine who was a nurse and taught nursing. And she said, if you put that in context of what you do with all the things you do, you're constantly doing what amounts to laying on of hands. So it's a great evening. Now, parents and children and families, please know we probably can't get you all in commencement tomorrow. I don't know that for sure, because each graduate has 3 tickets. But I'm making notice of all the graduates' faces tonight that you're there tomorrow. It's important to us. Snapshot. Welcome and congratulations.
Good evening, guests and our celebrated graduates of the nursing program. I'd like to welcome all of you on behalf of the faculty and staff at the college to this wonderful pinning and this wonderful celebratory event. I think it was probably one of the officers of the class asked me to say a few words, and so I have a few words. As the academic dean, I'm in charge of all of the academic disciplines and the faculty at the college, and as you know, when you start school, you learn the 3 R's. And what I'm going to talk about in my few words are the 4 R's of graduating from nursing school. The first R is to reflect, take time, be present in this moment, enjoy. Next R is revel. Make time for your friends and your family. All that time that you didn't have before, you'll have now. So party. And go to commencement. The next R is re-energize. Do something for yourself. You deserve it. And my last R is register for that BSN. That's it. You've learned everything you need to know. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Jones and Dean Branchini. The next part of this celebration will be an explanation of what your pin means to you. Okay. There are no secrets to the rigors of nursing education. Every graduate here has demonstrated the ability to overcome many challenges, step outside of their comfort zone, and learn and grow in ways I'm sure they did not know were possible. Being a registered nurse will offer each of you the opportunity to do work that is unique and gratifying, all while serving the communities in which you live along the continuum of health and wellness. Tonight, you will receive a pin, which is a symbol representing the college where you received your nursing education. Nursing pinning ceremonies are deep in tradition and symbolism. They date back to the early 1800s, when nursing education took place in specialized training programs outside of the college setting. Since nurses then did not earn an academic degree, the pinning symbolized the completion of their education. Each pin design is unique to the school. I would like to take a moment to share the meaning of the unique design of your Three Rivers Community College nursing pin. Before I begin, I would like to thank Professors Nancy Rymett, Francine Wallet, Marcia Fix, and Mary Browning for helping me with this research. In 1975, Mohegan Community College graduated the first nursing class. The graduates of this class were the designers of the nursing pin that you will wear. The design incorporated the college's motto at that time. That motto was peace through understanding, understanding through learning. The dove with the olive branch in its mouth was taken from the college seal and is located at the bottom center of the pin. The dove represents peace. The olive branch represents learning. In the center of the pin, there is a caduceus. The caduceus is an image of a wing-top staff with two snakes intertwined. The two intertwined snakes represent symbols of fertility, wisdom, and healing, while the staff was carried by the ancient Greek heralds and ambassadors and represents truce, neutrality, and non-combatant status. The caduceus has long been the symbol of the medical field. Along the top edge, the pin bears the name of the college. Through the years, the pin has changed to represent the name changes that have taken place. You may meet a nurse who wears a similar pin as you with the Mohegan Community College name or the Three Rivers Technical College name. The size of the pin has grown smaller over the years. This is due to the price of gold. Gold was chosen as the design material and color to represent achievement. Finally, the scalloped edge design is unclear whether that has significant meaning or just for aesthetics. Please wear your pin proud. Three Rivers Community College has provided you with an excellent nursing education. Practice the art and science of nursing and always continue to build on what you have learned. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Jesse Kuhl, your class president. He has a few words for you.
I'd like to take a moment to thank my classmates for this opportunity to speak today. My role as president has primarily been as a figurehead, poised to protect the real identity, the real leadership rather, from any sort of coup or assassination attempts. So I need to especially thank Holly Davis, Allison Bushnell, and Shelby Stockford for sacrificing their time on behalf of our class. In addition, the pinning committee, spearheaded by Allison and Lisa Bogle, has done an outstanding job, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize their efforts. And I would be certainly leaving out two very important people if I didn't thank Edie Roulette for her time, and Nancy Scrivano as well. This evening would not happen at all if not for their leadership and dedication. So thank you. All right, so spending 5 years as a teacher of high school English has taught me a valuable lesson. People do not want to hear me speak for too long and will totally space out if I do so. So with that in mind, I'd like to offer a short speech, and I will further divide it into 3 sections to hopefully maintain attention. I will first address our honored guests. As a lover of language and an unrepentant nerd, I sometimes reflect on the words that we use and where those words have come from. Passion, for example, a word that we often use to describe those things which we love, has its root in the Latin word passos, to suffer. It may seem odd at first glance, this mixture of suffering and love, but then again, do we not suffer in some way for all the things that we care about? That connection has proved a comfort to me throughout nursing school, as my classmates and I have suffered greatly in pursuit of our passion. But I'm willing to wager that a vast majority of our honored guest has suffered right along with us. Perhaps it was sacrificing time with a loved one, assuming a larger role in caring for family or property, or perhaps it was making a financial sacrifice. But surely our short tempers, anxiety, and lack of free time cause suffering in some way, shape, or form. So all of our honored guests can truthfully say that they too have developed a passion for nursing. On behalf of my classmates, I thank you for all that you've done. Our presence here this evening is largely a product of your assistance, guidance, inspirations, and patience, and so we thank you. I would just like to address our wonderful faculty and staff. It is a rare thing to be able to say, I am forever changed and forever better for having met another human being. To be able to make that statement about a large collection of people under one roof seems remarkably improbable, and yet here they are, gathered in the multi-purpose room at Three Rivers Community College. And I'm talking about our classroom instructors, our clinical instructors, our lab personnel, everybody, administrators. I stand behind that statement. We are forever changed and forever better for having known you. In 2 short years, you have shaped us as nurses and as adults. You've challenged us, you've frightened us, and you've proved to us that we are capable of more than we had dared dream. You have inspired awe and wonder in your students with your confidence, your amazing base of knowledge, and your ability to bring us from nervous, excited, and clueless novices to the graduate nurses who stand before you. In addition, you have suffered right alongside of us, often against your will, and so we thank you for your passion. You have been our mental health consultants, managing to smile, most of the time anyway, in the face of our overwhelming anxiety. You have helped to teach us how to carry on after a bad test grade or a bad day at clinical. You have taught us the power of resilience. Whenever I would feel beaten down or overwhelmed, which was not a rare occasion, I would remember the awesome feeling that I had when I found out that I had been accepted into the program here. And I'm glad I have the opportunity to thank you all for that feeling. The wonderful reputation of the nursing program here at Three Rivers is a direct tribute to your hard work, your dedication, and of course, your passion. Though I love language, there are moments when I am painfully aware that no mere words could adequately describe a debt of gratitude, and this is surely such an occasion. Regardless, on behalf of all my classmates, I thank you for all that you have done for us. Finally, I will address my classmates, but this speech is also intended to be a reminder to myself. We've accomplished a remarkable feat. We have persevered in the attainment of a sacred goal. For most of us, the journey has not been short or without hardships, yet it was wonderful regardless. We have forged meaningful bonds with each other and with our wonderful instructors. We have grown emotionally and intellectually. So let us never forget how difficult or scary this adventure really was. All of us graduating from this program will go on in our education, whether formally for additional certifications or professionally to enhance our skill set. We will encounter challenges that appear daunting, schedules that seem impossible, perhaps even coworkers who threaten our mental stability. But let us never forget that our accomplishments in this program were the result of confronting our fears and our shortcomings. Let us never forget that if this journey had been easy, then it would not mean nearly as much, because we need to suffer in order to be passionate. I charge all of us to embrace the grind that is yet to come, to embrace the suffering involved in NCLEX preparation, to embrace the suffering inherent in being a novice and making mistakes. We must all do our best to readily accept this suffering, because without suffering there is no passion, and without passion there is no hope of achieving greatness. I thank all of my classmates again for this opportunity to speak today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Next, I would like to introduce the keynote speaker for this evening, Professor Nancy Reimet. Professor Reimet has served the college and the students for 20 years, and she has been proud to be a registered nurse for 40 years. She graduated from the University of Pittsburgh with her BSN and the University of Connecticut School of Nursing with her MSN. She is proud to have spent 4 years on active duty in the Navy Nurse Corps and has enjoyed 38 years of marriage to a husband issued to her by the United States Navy. Professor Reimet practiced for 10 years as a staff nurse, primarily in the intensive care and emergency room settings, achieved certification in emergency department nursing. Before I call Nancy to the podium, I would like to take the time to thank her on behalf of the faculty and college for her years of dedication to the students, the college, and the nursing profession. Nancy will retire at the completion of this academic year, and we wish her well on her new journey. I would also like to ask Nancy what her plans are for the future, and I hope that she will share that with you. Please welcome Professor Reimet to the podium.
Can you hear me? I'm on the portable mic. Can you hear me? Gonna get back feet if I go over here? No, we're good. Good. What am I doing next? I've worked as a nurse for 40 years. What am I going to do next?
What are you going to do now?
Guess what? I am going to Walt Disney World. And you are surprised. And I am booked up this summer. I am a church organist, and I've got about 6 weeks of work looking at me this summer, so a little bit different than nursing, and in some ways very similar. You never know. You never know when somebody's going to have a seizure in the choir loft. It has happened. But anyway, thank you so much for asking me to be your speaker. This is a huge honor. And it really brings my career full circle, because the first year I was at Three Rivers Community College, which was 1982 to 83, I taught adjunct. And the students asked me to speak at their ceremony by reading their names when they received their pins. It was a huge honor, because they never asked adjuncts to do that. So it really brings my career full circle. So thank you very much for doing that. Okay, I decided, whatever would I say? How long do I have? 2 hours, 3 hours? I can't speak in less than blocks of 2 or 3 hours. But having been teaching for 30 years, I've sat through like many 30, more than 30 actually, pinning ceremonies, and numerous commencements, and I've heard a lot of speeches. And quite frankly, I remember very few. Some of them were very long, and some of them were horribly boring. So I don't want to go that route. So I'm going to try to be short and sweet. No, not to worry. I'm not going to talk for 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to be short and sweet. And I decided what I would do is I'm going to give you my 10 tips for new graduates. Okay, my first tip: look professional. Wear your uniform proudly. You should be so proud tonight to be here in this white uniform, because it is an honor to wear an all-white uniform. Now, folks out here, when you saw me walking around tonight, what did you immediately think? Who am I? A nurse. Did you immediately look at me in this white, all-white uniform and this cap and say, she's a nurse? Yes, you did. Because this all-white uniform, this cap, is a very potent identity symbol. And it's a very, it was the one time people wanted to wear all white. Waitresses wore all white. Nurse aides wanted to wear all white, but they wouldn't let them, only let them wear yellow. Where did this uniform come from? I will not go on to a 2-hour speech about Florence Nightingale. Why do we have this white uniform? Because Florence Nightingale wanted her trained nurses to stand out in the crowd. She didn't want them to blend in. At that point in time, 1850 in England, the people who were caring for patients were conscripted from prisons, and they were drunks and prostitutes. And that was not a good thing. And they didn't want to care for patients. They were forced to do it. So she said, I want my trained nurses to stand out, so she developed a uniform. And by the 1900s, that uniform was all white. And it is an honor for you to be able to wear all white. Now, that being said, how many of you really wanted to wear all white tonight? I know. The all-white uniform is somewhat out of date. But knowing as nurses, we have to go to our evidence-based practice. Guess what? Our evidence-based practice says that our patients, especially older patients, like to see a nurse in at least one white component. Not necessarily all white. Is this dress practical for me to be working in? No, not really. I would never appear like this again. Why did I appear like this tonight? Because it's a special night. It's pinning, and you know, this is my career coming full circle. Because 40 years ago, I appeared at my pinning ceremony for the first time ever in all white, and it felt good. And I hope it feels good for you guys too. Okay. Now, knowing that our patients like at least one component all white, that says that when you take these pieces of uniform, you could wear white pants and a colored top. Or you could wear a colored top, reverse, colored pants and your white top. So this all white should not go to waste, okay? Please be proud of your uniform. Wear it very proudly. You worked hard to earn that. The literature tells us that our older patients like prints on nurses that are small, but the children like the prints that are big and bold. So think about that when you're working in what you choose to wear, because it's very important for your patients to be able to look at you and identify you. Number 9, shoes. Don't skimp on your shoes, folks. Do not skimp on your shoes. You're going to be on your feet. You are going to be running and walking miles and miles and miles, and standing, which is even worse. Okay? Don't skimp on your shoes. Because if you skimp on your shoes, you go all cheapos. You could actually give yourself foot and vein injuries. And you don't want to do that. You got hopefully have a long career in front of you. So you want to be sure that you take care of yourself too. So, once again, I went to evidence-based practice. And I found a very nice article from the Massachusetts Nurses Association which said the following. Your shoes, they need to support your feet. It's not a fashion show. They need to have cushioned soles. I'm going to speak metric. More than 1.5 cms at the metatarsals, that's the toes for non-nurses in the world. And more than 1.8 to 3.6 cms at the heel. So you need some good support for your foot. You need arched footbeds to give your feet good support. They need to match your feet. You need a wide toe box. They need to be leather uppers. You have to protect your feet from sharp objects and from body fluids. And it should be able to fit snugly. Put your feet up when you get home. It's really important. You'll find when you're on the floor, 8 hours or 10 hours or 12 hours, and you know what I think about the long shifts, right? Remember what I said? What did I say? You didn't know there was going to be a test. What did I say? I said, nurses that work too long, too many shifts, too long, do what? Make mistakes. But anyway, even for 8 hours, when you get home, put your feet up. It's good for them. Put your feet up. Wear support hose or graduated support hose, men and women both. It's really important to take care of your veins. Now, maybe your family can progress. I know that I asked your family to be guinea pigs, didn't I? And I said, oh, what did I say? I said, go home and practice on that. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But now they can graduate from being your human guinea pigs, and I didn't actually use that terminology, to foot massagers. Okay, number 8. Get a good stethoscope. If you don't have a good one, get one. If you're trying to think of a good graduation present to get for somebody, get them a good stethoscope. Not a $300 cardiology stethoscope. They do not need that. But you need a good stethoscope. A lot of you have a good stethoscope. I know that from looking at them when we did physical assessment. If you didn't get one, get a good one, because you need that. You have to listen to those sounds in your patients. You really do. So you need a good one. If you didn't get a good one yet, get a good one. Your patients deserve it. Don't throw away your textbooks. This is number 7. Don't throw away your textbooks. Oh, bummer. I bet you want to throw them away. I bet you can't wait. I never want to see those again. But guess what? I'm still going into the textbooks because new things come up every day, things that I don't know about. But that's okay because we all have to learn. We have to learn for the rest of our careers. They're only good for 5 years from publication date, but you need to be able to look up stuff. Even at home sometimes. From home, from work, you're dealing with a patient condition you're unfamiliar with, you still got to do your homework. I'm not going to be there to make you do it, but you still got to do it. It's nice to have a hard copy, so don't chuck them. If you like ebooks, that's great too. That works. Nursing journals, here's another tip, folks. If anybody's looking for a graduation gift, get them a subscription to a nursing journal. Because you should be getting a nursing journal. I like no endorsements intended. I like HAN. Nursing 2014 is a very good one, and there are others out there. But you should get a good nursing journal. Read. Number 7, help others. When you're at work, help others. I know you're the new kid on the block. I know you don't know a lot. You know a lot more than a lot of other people. But it's very hard to think, oh, gee, I gotta help them there. They've been here forever. But guess what? When you go up to somebody and say, I'm caught up, can I help you with anything? That means a lot. It means a lot. It says, I'm a team player, and I'm here for you. And that's really important. It will build teams. It will help you to work with others on your unit. They will get to like you. And guess what? When you need help, they're more likely to help you. And it also makes good patient care in the end. Number 5, ask questions. It's okay. I know that it's sort of intimidating to say, oh, gee, I don't know, I never did that. But you have to ask questions. You're new, and we know that. And you don't know everything. I know you think we cram so much into your head that it'll explode if we try to give you just one more pearl of wisdom. But you have to ask questions. Now, just go up and say, oh, gee, I don't know how to do that. I'm a new grad. No. And say you never got to do a procedure. And I won't go into the details here. It's complicated. But say, you know, I've never done it. I looked it up. I've read the procedure. I need you to assist me this first time through. That's very positive. That says to the person you're asking for help from that you're going about it in the right way. You're not just throwing them on your mercy to teach me everything. You've been an active participant, and that's really important. 4, identify the best nurse on the floor. When I started in nursing, I wasn't that good of a nurse, quite frankly. It was hard to be a new grad. You got to get your feet on the ground. All of a sudden, that faculty's not back there to support you anymore. And it's really hard sometimes to get yourself right. It took me a good 6 months, truth be told. It took me a good 6 months. But what helped me the most was I identified the best nurse on our unit. She was top-notch. She did great patient care. Everybody looked up to her. She was a really good role model. She didn't know that I was watching her, but I was. I watched what she did, and I did things the way she did them. And it helped me a lot to get my feet on the ground. Now, sometimes, some people have preceptors, some people have mentors. Sometimes the best nurse on the floor is not necessarily your preceptor or your mentor. That's okay. You work with them. You learn from them, too. But identify that best nurse on the unit and try to be like them. Number 3. Ooh, we're almost done. Number 3. Take NCLEX right away. Did you hear me? Take NCLEX right away. Why did I say that? Guys, believe it or not, you are sharp right now. You are sharp. You know your stuff. You would not have graduated. We would not have passed you if you did not know your stuff, would we? So take it right away. I tell people, I don't know if I said it to you, but it's really hard to get in this program. You guys know that? Really hard to get in here? Guess what? It's harder to get out. So please, take it right away. You're ready. You're ready. And guess what? If you wait, you're going to start to get less and less and less and less likely to pass. Oh my goodness, we don't want to go that route. We want you all to pass. We want 100% pass rate from your group. Okay? So take it right away. I know it sounds like, oh no, I want to wait. No, don't. Do it right now. You're ready. As soon as you can, get it done. And someday you will thank me for telling you to do that. Number 2, touch your patients. Touch your patients. I have a dear friend who has some very significant health problems right now. And she had a lot of procedures last week and this week too. And last week she told me she went in for a procedure involving the OR. And she said the nurse put the blood pressure cuff on her arm. And the nurse put the pulse oximeter, the little thing that they check your oxygen with, on her finger. She never touched her. Didn't listen to heart, didn't listen to lungs, never touched her. And the nursing literature is saying the same thing. That patients are observing that nurses are spending too much time looking at computer screens. Have any of you guys seen that? You go in for whatever, and they just barely look at you. Type, type, type. To a certain extent, we have to do that. We do have to type, type, type. We have to document certain things. But there's no excuse for not looking at your patient and not touching your patient. It's true, Dr. Jones alluded to it, and our evidence shows that when you touch your patients physiologically, you will alter their bodies. Their blood pressure, their pulse, their respirations will go up. You know that, we talked about that. But it's also true that when we touch our bodies, we connect with them in a human way. And it goes back to the biblical laying on of hands. It is so important that human-to-human touch. We live in a very high technology world. Don't give up that touch piece. It's very important. Now, as I said to you today, I sort of squeezed 2 into 1 here. I want you all to give your families a very big hug today. Give everybody in your family a very big hug, please. I'm the guilty party. We told the students to go home and practice on you folks. Did they come home in their first semester and want to listen to your heart and your lungs and your bellies? Did they want to listen to them a lot? No, they didn't. You're lucky. Because a lot of folks, yes, I did say I am guilty. I told them to listen, practice, practice. Even if it was normal. Practice, practice, practice. We're going to Carnegie Hall. Practice, practice, practice. Because once you're comfortable with that normal, then you'll know what you're doing when you hear an abnormal. Does anybody remember that? Anybody remember that? Did you do it? Yeah, you did it. And you know something? I know what you guys went through while they were in nursing school. They weren't there. There was a lot of times they couldn't go to functions. They were studying. They were grumpy. They were away. You went through a lot with them too. We know you did. And I have to say, you're still going to go through a lot with them because they're crossing over the line. They're getting that pin, and tomorrow they get their degree. And that means they're going to be nurses. And they're going to work weekends and nights and holidays. And guess what? They're still going to be away. It'll be different, but they'll still be away. So please give your family a really big hug. It's really important. And number 1, done. I hope it wasn't too long. Number 1, get into a BSN or a MSN program right away. It's easier now, believe it or not. You guys are in gear for studying. You're used to it. You know how to juggle the family responsibilities, the time, the work, a little bit, and studying. If you procrastinate, you're not going to do it. That's what we see. People say, oh, I'll go next semester. I'll go tomorrow. Yes, when does tomorrow come? Never. Tomorrow never comes. So please do it right away. It's really important. Right now, even as we speak, healthcare is changing. It's changing drastically. Drastically, even as we speak. If you don't go back to school and do it right now, you're going to be a dinosaur. Literally. Very, very quickly. Very quickly. So it's really important. I guarantee that you're going to be left behind in the dust if you don't go back to school. Be proud of what you've accomplished. It is a big accomplishment. You are stepping over the line tonight. It will never be the same. You are honored. You are privileged. You are entitled to wear that white uniform, and not everybody is. It's a big thing. Be proud of what you've accomplished this far. Many more accomplishments, I hope, in a very productive career. One of Walt Disney's favorite phrases was keep moving forward. Believe it or not. It was one of his favorite phrases. You got to keep moving forward. And you do too. This is what you need to do with your formal nursing education. So, enough for me. Let's get to the pinning. That's the best part. Congratulations.
Thank you, Professor Reinert. That is a very valuable top 10 list for the graduates. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, we're going to prepare to pin the graduates. As I call your name, please come up to receive your pin, and I will take the time to read a personal message from each graduate. I will ask that the audience please save your applaud until the last graduate is pinned. Thank you. The first group of graduates will be pinned by Professor Francine Wallet. Lisa Bogle. Thank you to my parents and close friends for your invaluable support and for believing in me. To my instructors, thank you for your commitment and guidance. Alyssa Bray. I would like to thank my parents for always believing in me. Diane, for being such an amazing support during this journey. Chris, for supporting my dreams, and Ethan and Alexia for all their good lucks and hugs for me for my exams. Always remember that you can do anything you put your heart and mind to. Allison Bushnell. Thank you to my wonderful husband, John, my mother, Elaine, who has been a nurse for over 30 years, and the rest of my amazing family for all your continued encouragement and support. Sarah Butler. I would like to thank my parents for their constant support throughout this journey, and my children, Eric and Ava, for being my biggest inspiration. Melissa Carroll. I would like to thank Sister Anna Joseph and my friends Harleen and Maya for their continuous support and encouragement. Elizabeth Collins. Thank you, Leah and Bill, Chris, and especially you, Mom. My heart is full of gratitude for all your help and support. The next set of graduates will be pinned by Professor Nancy Ryman. Jessie Cool. I would like to thank my biological and adoptive families, my wonderful friends, and especially my beautiful wife. Holly Davis. Thank you to my children for their understanding, my parents for their support, and God for many wonderful opportunities. Jennifer Davis. Thank you to my supportive family and wonderful friends, both old and new, who have made it possible for me to succeed. Nate, I love you. Daniel Duran. I would like to thank my entire family, especially my wife Kathy and two awesome kids, Jared and Lauren, for supporting me on this journey. I want to thank the friends I've made along the way and hope the best for them all. And special thanks to Terry Ashton for making me the nurse I am today. James Fagan. Jay would like to thank his parents, Kathy, Larry, David, and Carol, his sisters, Kim, Kelly, Corinne, and Kate, and his in-laws, Tom and Kathy, for their continued support throughout the last 2 years. Most of all, he would like to recognize his wife, Tara, for her sacrifice. Without her guidance and support, completion of this program would not have been possible. Tracy Fiengo. I would like to thank my family and friends for their support and understanding over the past 2 years, and mostly my daughter for being as cooperative as a toddler knows how, and my husband for tolerating our house's never-ending state of disarray. I'm glad we can finally move forward. The next set of graduates will be pinned by Professor Lily Rayfeld. James Fracchia. I would like to thank my wife Liz for always believing in me, and Nancy Sarzasti for pushing me so hard. Charles Gabriel Jr. I would like to thank all my fans, especially my biggest fans, my family. Gisela Garcia. I would like to thank my entire family, especially my husband Richard, my amazing kids Gabriel, Gavin, and Ariana, and my parents, Edward and Susan, for always believing and supporting me through this journey. I appreciate it more than I can ever express. Alicia Jackson. I would like to thank my mom and dad for all their support and encouragement, my husband and kids for all their patience, Joanne for absolutely everything, and Nicole for keeping me mostly sane. Stephanie Yadley. Sister Elizabeth Kenny said, quote, "Panic plays no part in the training of a nurse," end quote. That is completely inaccurate. Thank you to my family and friends for putting up with a solid 2 years of panic. I love you more than words could ever say. The next group of graduates will be pinned by Professor Anne Lamonde. Ashley Jones. I would like to thank Frank and Mary for the guidance and support given during my journey, and for my mom for being the beautiful example that motivated me to pursue my dreams. Bonnie Kane. I want to thank my husband, children, and newfound nursing friends for their immeasurable support. This achievement would not have been possible without you. Special thanks to Terry Ashton, Beth Dowd, Pat Kalongmi, and Nancy Sarzasti for your wisdom, guidance, and above all, friendship. Angela Kodra. Today is the end of an unforgettable journey and the beginning of an even brighter one. I have dreamed of this day for so long, but I know one thing for sure. I could not have done it without the precious help of family, friends, and instructors. I thank you all very kindly, and congratulations to all of us on a job well done. Mary Kwasniewski. This has been an incredibly amazing journey. I want to thank my mom, dad, John, Elizabeth, and Mags for all your support, advice, and for listening to me complain on several occasions. I am grateful to have had such a wonderful classmates who I have developed lifelong relationships with. I couldn't have done it without you, especially my study group and clinical groups. You made these 2 years just a little bit easier. And a special note to Alicia Jackson for all your encouragement, especially during the second semester. Congratulations, Nursing 2014. This is just the beginning. The next group of graduates will be pinned by Professor Terry Ashton. Krista Ledoy. I'd like to thank my boyfriend Gerald for dealing with me throughout these past 2 years. Thank you, Dad, and the rest of my supportive family. An extra thank you to my mom for making me the strong person I am today. Consider this your carnation. Love you, Aggie. I know, you switched yourself around. Jennifer LaPearl, I'm sorry. Much love and gratitude to my husband, kids, family, and friends. This truly would not have been possible without your unwavering support and patience. Laura Liddon. I would like to thank all my friends and family for their love and support, especially my mom and Levon. I would also like to dedicate this achievement to my dad, who's no longer with us, but always in my heart. Leslie Lucas. I would like to thank my family and friends for their continued support. Stephen Miller. I would like to thank my mom, dad, and children, Brady and Kylie, for all their support. I also must thank my wife. If it wasn't for her, there is no way I would have been able to do this. Thank you. Colette Mosier. To my grandmother, thank you for being my compass in life and leading me in the right direction. Thanks to my friends for hanging in there with me. The next group of graduates will be pinned by Professor Nancy Scribano. Mary Pauling. I'd like to thank the nurses that invited me into this profession and all of my friends and family that magically reappeared after 2 years of profound neglect. Valerie Lynn Precourt. I would like to thank my mother, Helen, for always pushing me to achieve my goals and supporting me with her love and faith. Thank you to Arlo for always being there for me, and my boyfriend David for his patience, love, and for always believing in me. And a big thank you to all my amazing study buddies. Jennifer Raymond. Shannon, without your selfless help, I would not be here today. Frank, I'll always remember that Jell-O is a liquid, no doubt. And for my mom, we came up a few months short, but I hope you are watching me from somewhere above, because this is for you. I love you all. Kayla Regan. I would like to thank my family, my best study buddy Val, and my boyfriend CJ for being super supportive and never doubting that I would someday be a nurse. Thank you. Serene Reinholz. I would like to thank my family for all their continued support over the past 2 years. Thank you, Michael, Shane, and Mason. You have been my inspiration through this journey. Kara Ricketts. I would like to thank Mom, Dad, brothers, and sister, and especially my husband and newborn son, without whom I would not have come so far. Thank you for supporting me and helping me cross the finish line. Carrie Scarchilli. I would like to thank all of my family and friends for putting up with my insanity for the last 2 years. I would especially like to thank my husband for his support and motivation during this journey. The next set of graduates will be pinned by Assistant Professor Nancy Sarzasti and Michelle Bull. Ashley Sheldon. I would like to thank my amazing husband, family, and friends for all their support, encouragement, and understanding. I would have never made it without each and every one of you. Peyton Grace, this is all for you. Kendall Saglario. I would like to thank my husband, Alexander, for all his support, my mother, and caffeine. Special consideration goes to my father, who could not be here today. I dedicate this moment to him. Jacinda Sortwell. I cannot thank my family and friends enough for all the love, support, and patience they have shown me over the last few years. I wouldn't have been able to get through this without them. Shelby Stockford. Thank you to my family for the unconditional love and support. I wouldn't have been successful without you. Kimberly Thoreau. I want to thank my husband Chet and my 3 boys, Jacob, Nicholas, and Benjamin. You were my driving force, and I could not have accomplished this without your love and support. I have promised you that there was a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, here it is. Rebecca Thomason. I want to thank my family and friends for all their support through this journey. I wouldn't have been able to do this without your constant encouragement. Melissa Vanassi. I would like to thank my friends and family for all they have done to support me on this amazing journey. I would like to especially thank my mom for all she has done to make this day possible. She has no idea how much she has done. Lastly, I would like to send a big thank you to Alexander for being my motivation, inspiration, and my rock. Without you, I would never have made it anywhere. Sarah Violet. I would like to thank my parents and grandparents for supporting me and believing in me throughout this process. I would like to thank God for giving me the strength and the ability to make it through. Shauna Wainwright. I would like to thank my family and friends for supporting me these last 2 years. I would also like to thank my fellow nursing students. I couldn't have made it through without all of you. Congratulations. Now that the graduates have been pinned, we would like to deliver the Nightingale Pledge. Would the graduates and nursing faculty please rise? And I would also like to invite all nurses in the audience to join us in the Nightingale Pledge. I solemnly pledge myself before God and in the presence of this assembly to pass my life in purity and to practice my profession faithfully. I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the standard of my profession. And I will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to my keeping and all my family affairs coming to my knowledge, practice of my calling. With loyalty, I will endeavor to aid the imposition of his work and devote myself to the welfare of those committed to my care. You may be seated. I would like to call Diane Marion back to the podium to deliver the benediction.
I would like to share with you the 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinion and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Don't make assumptions. Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid miscommunications, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under every circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. A good life is when you assume nothing, do more, need less, smile often, dream big, laugh a lot, and realize how blessed you are. May you all have the strength of eagle's wings, faith and courage to fly to new heights, and the wisdom of the universe to carry you there.
Thank you. This concludes our ceremony for this evening. I would like to leave the graduates with these thoughts. No goal is ever too big. Be a leader and never stop learning. Enjoy this great profession and please stay in touch. We wish you all the best. Congratulations again.
The class has gotten a gift for Nancy. We just wanted to say a special thank you for saying a few words and to wish her well into her retirement. Thank you very much.
Yes, I think she needs to open it, don't you all agree?
I have my glasses on. I don't know if I can see
You
it.
all need your glasses for this. Engraved in your mind.
Engraved in my mind. Oh, it's beautiful. It's Mickey. Perfect. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, class. It's been a big honor to speak for you, and good luck to everyone.
We will process out of the multipurpose room, faculty followed by graduates. The graduates would like to invite everyone into the cafeteria for a reception and light refreshments. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
next to you that is not being sat in by someone, can you raise your hand? We have people in another room who would love to be in here, so we just want to do that before we start. 1, 2, 3. Chandra, help me count. Keep your hands up and we'll... So we're going to bring those people in and then we're going to get started. Chandra, do you have a number?